When Epic made the claim that they were going to accurately remake Chapter 1 from the beginning, I, like many others, was skeptical at how true this remark was. I didn't actually think they'd be able to make a 100% accurate replica of Chapter 1, and understandably so. If the OG season from about a year ago was anything to go off of, it would be far from perfect. Then, they dropped Season 1, and I was honestly shocked. Accurate map, accurate loot pool, accurate stats, for the most part. I really didn't think they could pull it off, but they did. They made a full-on replica of Chapter 1 Season 1. Then Season 2 dropped and they completely shit the bed when it came to any type of continuity. Hey guys, Cadin here, and ever since Season 2 of Chapter 1 OG dropped, the amount of inaccuracies that have happened in the OG mode have been, quite honestly, more than I would have expected from something that's supposed to be an accurate remake. Me being the person I am, a massive fucking nerd, I decided that I would try to list off everything that was currently inaccurate in the OG mode, and while I was doing that, the thought to me came, hey, you know, Season 3 is actually coming out tomorrow as of me recording this. I have no idea if I'll be able to get it out by the time, oh my god, focus. The plan for this video is it's going to drop before Season 3 does, and if anything that I say is wrong, then you guys are gonna get something out of it. So pretty much, that will be revealed at the end of the video, by the way. I want to keep that retention up, you know what I'm saying? Basically what's going on is, on my second monitor over here, I have a tab for everything that's currently wrong in OG, a tab for all the balance updates that happen in Season 3, and then a third tab for things that I think will be wrong during Season 3. So now, without further ado, and enough stalling out of the way, let's go ahead and get over to the main content of the video. Alright, so as I previously stated, here are all the tabs. This right here, the first one that we're going to go over, is things currently wrong in OG. And, there's a couple. I've tried to categorize them as best as I can. Like here I got ARs, shotguns, SMGs, pistols, whatever. We got consumable items down here, utility, and miscellaneous for stuff that I think didn't have a specific category that it could have been in, so it's all just at the bottom. So anyway, let's go ahead and start out with the assault rifle category. Now for the base assault rifle, its icon is incorrect for the gray through blue rarity, and currently has damage fall off. You're going to notice this with a lot of weapons. Damage falloff was not added to the game until version 3.4, which is stated somewhere inside this tab, and that's just going to be something that's going to be applied to a lot of weapons on here, so if it does say that it has damage falloff, I will briefly mention it, and then not again. I just might not mention it at all anymore. Who knows? It depends on how I'm feeling while I'm, like, in the process of recording, but anyway, that's not important. Let's go ahead and move on. So now for the burst assault rifle. Its accuracy and recoil, the accuracy is much tighter than it should be, and the recoil is a lot higher. I think what they somehow managed to do is that they copied over the stats of the current burst assault rifle that's not in OG, like the FAMAS, and they somehow managed to paste those stats onto the burst AR that is in OG without making it a 2-round or changing its damage. For those of you that remember the beginning of Season 2, the max size for the burst AR was reduced to like 20, but that obviously wouldn't work with the 3-round weapon, so they increased it back up to 30, and hoped that nobody else would notice that they messed up with anything else. So moving on from that, obviously right here has damage fall off, and its minimum damage is 90% when it should be 65%. If we're saying that it has damage fall off, its minimum damage is incorrect. I really have no idea how it would have gotten to 90%, because the 90% is something that's on the Striker burst rifle, which is not the burst assault rifle. Again, I don't know. The way that these bugs happen is beyond me. I genuinely have no idea how this could have happened. Additionally, the structure damage is wrong. It goes on 31, 32, 34, same as the regular FAMAS burst rifle, and it should be 30 for all rarities, because during, like, Chapter 1, like, beginning times of Chapter 1, the structure damage of different weapons was based on the blue rarity of that weapon, so it should be 30 for the burst rifle. Now for the scoped AR, you'll probably notice it has the incorrect scope, and this one's a little bit petty. The weapon name is incorrect. At this time in Fortnite history, the scoped AR is known as the assault rifle with scope. Dumbass name, but I mean, it worked. And this is another really weird thing that happened that I can understand why they made this kind of oversight. A couple weeks ago, they made a hotfix to the scoped AR that changed its accuracy when aimed down sights to be perfect, like it is normally with the regular scoped AR, but they kept the headshot multiplier at 2.5. And when they did originally make the perfect accuracy change, they reduced the headshot multiplier down to 2.0. So now, technically, this is the strongest version of the scoped AR that's ever existed, because the purple rarity can hit for 60 headshot damage, and it's perfectly accurate when you aim in. It's a little nutty, but it's probably going to end up changing tomorrow, so not a big issue. Anyway, I'm spoiling the future of this video, so let's go ahead and move on. Now, to the weapon with the most amount of things that's wrong with it, the pump shotgun. As per usual, the pump shotgun has the most things wrong with it because Epic Games does not like the pump shotgun. They don't want to see it shine, they don't like it as a weapon, they think it sucks, they think it needs to be removed, they deleted everything. I'm probably slandering them, but this is genuinely how it feels. These motherfuckers do not like the pump shotgun. Anyway, the damage is incorrect. It's 84 and 92 in the gray and green, when it should be 90 and 95. And then the effective range is wrong, it's 5 meters, should be 7.5. The max range is wrong, it's 30 meters, it should be 40. The reload speed is wrong, it's 5.1 and 4.8 seconds, when it should be 4.8 and 4.6. Now I have an explanation for how all of this happened. For some reason, they copied the stats of the pump shotgun from Chapter 2 Season 6 onto here, but somehow managed to keep the 2.5 headshot multiplier, which makes no sense. Because in Chapter 2 Season 6, it had a 1.75 headshot. So, if they're copying all those stats and keeping the headshot multiplier, how? How did you manage to do that? Additionally, the pump shotgun has a max damage cap, which maybe you wouldn't have noticed because you would have probably thought that it got removed after about a week or two, because at the beginning of Season 2, the pump and tac shotgun both had max damage caps. The pump shotgun was unable to hit over 200 damage, and the tac shotgun did like 130, which was stupid. So what many people thought they did was that they removed the max damage cap, which they might have done for the tac. I'll say this, they might have actually removed the max damage cap for the tac, but they didn't for the pump. Because I randomly just so happened to test out the max damage cap in creative mode with a friend of mine, and when you put on a damage multiplier for yourself that's in creative, the headshot damage does not change. So like, the headshot damage regularly for like the pump how it is now with these stats is 210 and 230. If you apply a damage multiplier and you try to shoot somebody with it, the headshot damage does not change. It will stay as 210 and 230. So these still have an integrated max damage cap, which is why? Why? These guns aren't in regular BR, why? Moving on to the next thing, the structure damage of the pump shotgun is wrong. It does 50% of its regular base damage to structures when it should be doing 100%. Now, this 50% changed, in fact, the change to structure damage for all shotguns, this was a thing that happened in Season 4, so for some reason, they decided to add it early. And again, one more thing for the pump shotgun, the final thing out of the laundry list that's over here, the equip speed is 0.416 seconds when it should be 0.333. Now, the equip speed thing is something that they did in Season 3, I think it was, to, like, be like a little counterbalance to double pump, but for some reason, that was just something that was there on launch. Now I move on to the tactical shotgun. First off, this thing's icon is incorrect, and it has been for a while. This structure damage thing that with the pump is the same as here, except this one does 75% structure damage, and it should be 100. And now the equip speed, additionally, it has an incorrect equip speed. Just for a baseline thing, every single weapon in the game at this point in like OG times has an equip speed of 1/3 of a second, and for some reason Epic Games decided we're gonna make the shotguns have a longer equip speed because we don't like having accurate stuff. So they made the pump shotgun equip slower, and they made the tac shotgun equip pretty damn slow. Jeez, yeah, 0.483 second equip speed. That's bad. Now we move on to SMGs. For the submachine gun, the regular Tech 9, the base accuracy is much tighter than it should be. If you remember, last season, it had a pretty sizable base accuracy. Then this season, for some reason, I think what this one is copying is it's copying the accuracy of the rapid-fire SMG. Again, don't know how these things happen. They just do. And also, this has damage fall off, and this is another thing, this was originally vaulted during Season 2 in the final update, and it is still not yet vaulted. but it probably will be tomorrow, so yeah. Anyway, now the tactical submachine gun, this has damage fall off when it shouldn't, and it was originally buffed in the same update that the submachine gun was vaulted, and it has not yet been buffed. If I had to guess, it would be buffed in the next season, which is tomorrow. So anyway, these things down here, they don't matter. They're probably going to happen, which is why it's not a big fuss. And now, the final SMG, the suppressed submachine gun, only one thing is wrong with it. It just has damage fall off. I've scrolled a bit to make this lining up a little bit better, I guess, here. So this stuff is at the top and whatever. You guys don't care. We're moving on. So pistols. The semi-auto pistol. Because it's called the semi-auto pistol for some reason. The damage for this one is 24, 25, and 26 when it should be 23, 24, and 25. The icon for it is incorrect, and this is speculation. I think that the weapon model is incorrect. I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison of how it looks in BR and how it looks in Save the World, and if the weapon models are in fact incorrect, you will see, and if not, then I guess I'm wrong here. And again, has damage fall off, and the weapon name is incorrect, because for some reason, they decided to call it the semi-auto pistol. It should just be called the pistol. Now, the suppressed pistol, this pisses me off to no end. Its mag size is 12 when it should be 16, because in Chapter 2, Season 2, they randomly, for no fucking reason, decided to nerf the silenced pistol's mag size from 16 down to 12. The most useless nerf in history. I don't know, it makes no sense, and it still has a mag size of 12 in like regular Fortnite. It's in Chapter 6 right now with a mag size of 12. And it just really shouldn't be that way. I don't understand why. Anyway, once again, this thing has damage fall off, and now the revolver. The only real thing wrong with it is that it has damage fall off, and this is another side note. When it was added, it used light bullets, but at this point in the game, like in the final update of Season 2, it was changed to medium, so I guess it doesn't matter, but it was at some point supposed to use light ammo, but never did. Anyway, moving on to snipers. For the bolt action, this one's weird. The reload animation is wrong, but like it's different for every rarity. For the blue rarity, it uses the reload animation of the heavy sniper, and for the purple and gold rarity, it uses the current bolt action sniper reload that is like the model from Chapter 2. And then there's the same thing for both the bolt and the semi-sniper. They use the incorrect scopes. They use Chapter 3 scopes instead of Chapter 1 scopes. Now moving on to explosives. For the rocket launcher, the reload speed was increased to 3.6, 3.4, 3.2 when it should be 2.3, 2.2, and 2.1. And the equip speed for this thing, I was surprised when I saw this thing when I was testing it out. The equip speed is 0.65 seconds when it should be just a third of a second. And the structure damage, this is gonna be like a bit of a throwback for some of you guys during Chapter 1. If you guys remember, how explosives worked in Chapter 1, like early seasons before Season 4, was that the explosive damage to structures was based on the line of sight. So when something impacted and it wasn't able to see, it would damage the walls in front of it, but any walls that were blocked off by the walls that it's exploding, it wouldn't hit. So it wasn't based on proximity damage, like it wouldn't damage things in a radius, it would only damage the things the projectile could actually see. So anything behind what you're blowing up would not get damaged. And that is basically just the same thing for rocket launchers, grenade launchers, and grenades down here, but there's more stuff for grenades that I'll talk about later. And now we're moving on to the other weapon tier, which only has about two things. The crossbow. The damage is 65 and 68 when it should be 75 and 79. The fire rate is 0.9 when it should be 0.6, and it doesn't use the Cupid skin, which won't matter tomorrow. It's just something I felt like noting that's wrong. And now the minigun. Its damage is 18 and 19 when it should be 16 and 17, and it also has the overheat mechanic, which wasn't added till Season 7, but for some reason they felt like adding it because, guys, the minigun's too powerful, we need to add the overheat. That didn't matter back then. Now moving on to utility items. For the grenade. The structure damage for this thing is only 75 when it should be 300. I think what happened here is that they managed to copy over the current grenade stats that are in like regular BR, because that one does like 40 player damage and 75 structure damage. And it actually did 40 damage on launch of Season 2, but that was quickly reverted because people immediately noticed that. And then anyway, moving on from that, the stack size of grenades is only 6 when it should be 10. Now for impulse grenades, the stack size of these is 9 when on release it was actually 8. A weird number, but that's just how Epic decided to do it back then. And now we move on to the last few things down here. We got healing items. For small shield potions, the stack size is only 6 when it should be 10. And for regular shield potions, the stack size is 3 when it should only be 2. Now for traps, the damage for the regular spike trap is 150 when it should be 125. And for the cozy campfire, it can be stoked, which it was never able to do in chapter 1. Now these are the miscellaneous changes that are like 5 things that I didn't think fit into any specific category, but just kind of they would fit down here and like just random shit. So the first thing here is the max stack sizes for all ammo should be at 999, but instead they are like capped weirdly, like how they were capped back during chapter 2 season 6 when they were like medium ammo and light ammo were capped at 500, shotgun ammo was capped at 150. What else am I forgetting? Heavy bullets were capped at 50. That's pretty much it. All ammo stacks should be at 999, including rockets. And now the base stack size for when you get a drop of shotgun ammo is only 4 when it should be 5. The base stack size of a stack of light ammo is 20 when it should be 12. Supply drop balloon health should be 1500 in all modes because for some reason those things were just really beefy back then. And storm circles, these are not at all how they should be. They for some damn reason, either during last season or this season, they changed them to behave like current storm circles, which is not accurate. That's all I can say. It's not accurate. Now, we're done with the laundry list of things that are currently wrong, and now let's move on to the balance updates that happened this season, which is equally as long. Now, for the first update of Season 3 version 3.0, this is when the hand cannon was added, and double pump had like a little fix attached to it. So basically, what had happened at the beginning of Season 3 was that they added a little weird, like, mechanic to the pump shotgun, where, like, double pump would still kind of work. Like, if you had 2 pump shotguns, you could do bang with 1, bang with 2, but when you switched back over to the first pump shotgun in your inventory, before you would shoot it, you would actually have to pump it back to be able to shoot again. So that was kind of like a little band-aid fix they added to double pump at the beginning of Season 3. Another thing that was listed, grenades can no longer crit, which is a thing that I didn't even know that they were able to do. And then they removed the Valentine's Day skin from the crossbow, and they increased the drop rate of the green and blue pistol, and they reduced the suppressed pistol spawn rates. Now to 3.10, the hunting rifle was added. This is when Lucky Landing was added. They increased the spawn rate of the green and blue burst AR, green and blue revolver, and blue and purple tac by about 33 and 75%. They reduced the spawn rate of the gray burst, the gray revolver, and the green tac shotgun by about 10%. And this is a weird thing that I saw. They removed 13 floor loot spawns and 4 chest spawns from Snobby Shores, removed 8 floor loot spawns and 3 chests from the factories that are like to the north of Flush, and they removed 8 floor loot spawns and 4 chests from Tilted Towers. Now, I'll just go ahead and say, I forgot to mention this here, but I'm just going to say, these are not things that they care about. There is going to be nothing done with any of this because they probably forgot that they even did it. And truthfully, I didn't even know they did it either. This is literally before I even started playing. Actually, no, this isn't before I started playing. Yeah, no, I was playing this game, like, right when Season 3 came out, I think. I was playing, like, before the hunting rifle got added. Yeah, anyway, that doesn't matter, but, like, I just kind of felt like correcting myself there. Anyway, version 3.20, this is a small patch. They just gave the hunting rifle first shot accuracy. In version 3.30, this is when the supply llama was added, the remote explosive was added, and smoke grenades got vaulted here. And then this is another weird little thing they had with weapon naming. They changed the name of the no-scope hunting rifle to hunting rifle. I maybe remember it being called that. It was definitely called that at one point, but whatever. And there's other little weird quirks that happened. Chest health was increased from 200 to 500, and ammo box health was increased from 120 to 250. I don't know. Again, that was things that I didn't know were, like, even a thing back then, but anyway, moving on. Version 3.31, this is when the heavy shotgun was added, and in version 3.4, this is when the guided missile was added. And this is also the version where they increased the pump shotgun rarity from gray-green to green and blue, and they reduced the tac shotgun's rarity from green, blue, purple to gray, green, and blue. You gotta see a little sad face right here because this is not very awesome. And then in the same update, they added the Easter skin to the grenade launcher, and they increased the launch pad spawn rate by about 25%. Now move on to the 3.4 content update. I'm going to move this down a little bit. That actually fits perfectly. Cool. And anyway, in this update, they added vending machines and they added first shot accuracy and damage fall off. So the following weapons now have first shot accuracy: a silenced SMG, tac SMG, pistol, silenced pistol, revolver, deagle, AR, and burst AR. And weapons with first shot accuracy now have damage fall off, and these are the ranges for all of these weapons. Silenced SMG and tac SMG start fall off at 24 meters and end at 50, and the minimum damage for them is 65%. Pistol and silenced pistol start fall off at 28 meters and end at 250 meters. Weird. That's really weird. And the minimum damage for these is 65%. The revolver and the deagle start fall off at 35 meters and end at 85 meters, with their minimum damage being 40%. They did not like these weapons at all. And the AR and the burst AR start damage fall off at 50 meters and at 100, and the minimum damage is 65%. And weapons with first shot accuracy now have a 2x headshot multiplier. And then other things that I don't think matter to just the regular OG mode: they increased the wood gathered from harvesting by 10%, and they reduced the resource harvesting variance from plus or minus 30% to plus or minus 15%. And then for version 3.50, this is when the Port-a-Fort was added. They reduced the guided missile turn rate by 75%, and they reduced its movement speed by 15%, and they removed the double pump fix in this version. And because they removed the double pump fixes, when they added all the weird, like, increased equip speeds for all of these weapons: the RPG, the deagle, the revolver, the tac shotgun, pump shotgun, heavy shotgun, bolt sniper, hunting rifle, and crossbow. All of these weapons got an increased equip speed. And then after that, down here it says they changed the spawn rate of different items in vending machines, which I put a side note here that says, who cares? Like, really? This is definitely something they're not going to do, like, at all. They don't care about that. So, and then after that, they reduced the C4 floor loot spawn by about 33%, and now, this is the update where they made loot llamas destructible by, like, pickaxes and weapons and shit. And then they also made friendly traps tinted blue in this update, which is a very nice update. And then the version 3.50 content update, this was around the time when, for those of you that remember, this was around the time when, like, they had that 1 day long downtime where, like, the servers just did not work, and they had to give everybody, like, the rust bucket. But anyway, barring that, this is when they added the light machine gun, and this is around the time where the guided missile was vaulted. And then the final update of Season 3, version 3.60, was when the Clinger was added. They reduced the C4 spawn rate in chests by 40%, the minigun accuracy was increased by 10%, the recoil was reduced by 10%, and the damage was increased from 16 to 17 to 18 and 19. And additionally, they improved the hit registration for snipers and crossbows, and they removed the fall damage immunity that was granted to you by Port-a-Fort tires when you bounce off of them. And then for supply drop, they had a couple supply drop changes down here. The balloon health is now 500 in solos, 750 in duos, and 1250 in squads, and they fall twice as fast. So that's every change that happened in Season 3 that was of note that I think has a possibility of happening in OG. And now, we move on to things that will be wrong in OG Season 3 that I'm predicting. I've split them up into 2 categories: things that I think will definitely be wrong, and things that I think will probably be wrong. There will be a distinction between these two for what I will announce later. Starting off with things that I definitely think will be wrong. First of all, this one's confirmed. Lucky Landing will be added on day 1. And then nothing to do with any kind of drop rate will be changed, which is understandable because who really cares about, like, being accurate with the drop rates? That's not what we're here for. We're here for weapons and shit. The hunting rifle, this is something I'm predicting will definitely be wrong. The hunting rifle will use the wrong model, icon, and reload animation. So when they first added the hunting rifle, they just straight up ripped everything from Save the World because they already had it in there, so just like, it's a really simple thing to do. You have something that you have in one mode, you want to add it to another mode. The easiest thing to do, you just rip the model from that mode to the other mode. But I'm predicting actually that they will not be doing that. They'll be using the hunting rifle model and icon that was added at around Season 4, and they won't be using the original model for it. Additionally, I think that the hunting rifle will at no point be called the no-scope hunting rifle because it's just a dumb name. And then moving on from the hunting rifle, the heavy shotgun will fire 10 pellets instead of 5. Because on release, the heavy shotgun was a 5 pellet weapon, and then in Season 5 it was changed to be 10 pellets, but I really doubt for some reason. I don't have faith in this. I think that the heavy shotgun will be a 10 pellet shotgun instead of 5. I don't think they'll be able to keep that accurate. And then moving on, the thing with chests and ammo health, that really doesn't matter. And then the grenade launcher, I'm predicting it will not receive its Easter skin because it didn't receive a snowball skin. I really don't think it will get an Easter skin. And then another thing, all weapons with first shot accuracy will have a 2x headshot multiplier on the season start. Guided missile will not be vaulted until the end of the season, which I feel is fair. The guided missile was only vaulted in like season 3 because there were a bunch of issues that kept it from like being able to stay in the game. I don't know what the issues were, but they were apparently bad enough for the guided missile to just not be able to stay in the game. But I really don't see, if they don't mess up the weapon again, then there's really no reason for it to not at least stay till the end of the season. Anyway, moving on from that, loot llamas will not be indestructible when they're added. Anything to do with the harvesting rates will be unchanged, because again, duh. I think the deagle's equip speed will not be correct on launch. It'll have the long equip time, other than the like third of a second equip speed that it's supposed to have. The snipers and crossbow equip speed will not change. The supply drop balloon health will not change. The porta-fort tires will not ever be granting fall damage immunity. Damage fall off will not be removed. Pump and tack equip speeds will not change. The scoped AR's scope will not change. The scoped AR's name will not change. Sniper scopes will not change. The rocket launcher reload speed will not be fixed. The minigun damage will not change. The minigun overheat will not be removed. Explosive damage will not change. Line of sight. Impulse grenade stack size will not change. Cozy campfire stoking will not be removed. And ammo stack sizes will not change. That is my list of things that will definitely not change during Season 3. Now move on to probably things that will not change. For probably, I have double pump will not be temporarily patched. Epic will somehow mess up when increasing the pump's rarity and add the one that does 100 body damage. So for those of you that don't know, in creative, there is like pump shotguns in OG for every single rarity. So they have gray OG pump, green OG pump, blue OG pump, purple and gold OG pump. And those purple and gold ones, they're pretty strong, but the blue one is the one that I am pointing out here. When they remove the gray pump, they're going to add the blue one that does like, it does 100 body damage, and with a 2.5 headshot multiplier, it does 250 to the head, which is a one-shot and no build, which is something that I don't think they want, but they're going to end up messing up. And that's what I'm calling will probably happen. Moving on, I believe that the purple tack will remain for all of Season 3, which really I'm not complaining about. The tack SMG will not receive first shot accuracy. The burst AR stats will not be fixed. The pump shotgun stats will not be fixed. The pistol's damage will not be fixed. The silenced pistol's mag size will not be fixed. The bolt sniper's reload animations will not be fixed. The grenade stack size will not change. Mini stack size will not change. Big pot stack size will not change. Trap damage will not change. And the storm will not change. That's my list of things for probably. So here on this right here, I'm going to be making a bet with everybody watching this video. For all the things I'm calling definitely and probably, in the definitely category, if at least 2 of these things I am wrong about, I will gift a battle pass. And for the probably category, if I am wrong about at least 6 of these things, I will grant another battle pass. So that's 2 battle passes are on the line here. If I am wrong about at least 2 of the things in the definitely category, that's 1 battle pass. And if I'm wrong about at least 6 things in the probably category, that will be another battle pass given away. So anyway, that's it for this video. I just wanted to go over everything that's currently wrong in OG and everything that I think will be wrong in the next season. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe and use my creator code. See ya.